Today, we are discussing a new indie game developer that has two working and fun titles in the crypto space. This is episode 28 of Play to Earn Crypto Games That You Need to Play, and today's feature is GolemHouse. Let's jump into the basics in part 1. GolemHouse is a small, independent studio with a team of 5 and a fiery passion. They currently have 2 prototype games available to play for free. One of the games is called Treasure Tiles, and it's their flagship title. The other game within this ecosystem is called EdenSol. Both games use recognizable and similar assets, which provides a smooth transition and familiarity between them. We're going to dig into both of these games later in this video, but first we need to talk about the ecosystem, economy, and all the rest of the boring stuff so you know what it's all about. Tokenomics seems to be as good a place as any to get started, and it's often something many are excited to hear about because it is what and how you earn. EdenSol and almost certainly Treasure Tiles upon its release will be using the EdenSol token based on the Solana blockchain. And to obtain EdenSol tokens, you can exchange them with other cryptos. You can win in-game rewards, you can win bets on battle outcomes, and you can even share earned rewards within guilds. EdenSol can be used to purchase various NFTs, of course, including heroes, gear, pets, and more, as well as loot boxes, tournament tickets, and in the case that you want to establish a guild, you will also use EdenSol. Being Solana-based allows in-game items to be transferred throughout the blockchain, and if you want, you could send your NFTs to a wallet and sell them freely on decentralized markets like OpenSea. And all this can be done for a small fraction of the cost of Ethereum or other blockchains and at lightning speed. As of Q4 2022, EdenSol will see many updates that will bring the game into a more fleshed out reality. Check out more information in the white paper, which can be found on their website at edensol.net/whitepaper. Without further ado, in part 2, let's take a look at EdenSol and see what it's all about. To get started in EdenSol for free, head over to golemhouse.itch.io/EdenSol. This game is in alpha, so many things are not unlocked or available yet, but this will give you a rough idea of what to expect in the future. EdenSol is currently a simple battle game which will feature NFTs and play to earn mechanics. Players can go on adventures and fight monsters or fight other players. Although it's mostly an auto battle clicker game in its current state, I hope to see more interactivity as things release and unlock. Your character will be an NFT, which can be of 3 classes. You can have a warrior, a ranger, or, coming soon, a mage. The NFT value depends on the level of personalization and the rarity of your NFT. And again, the NFTs will be usable between games in this ecosystem and on the Solana blockchain. Something to note is when items are dropped during battle, they aren't immediately available as NFTs. Instead, players must choose to mint them for a small fee, which is pretty standard for a lot of these crypto games. The game plans to integrate support for numerous types of NFTs that players might have, such as the popular Bored Apes or CryptoPunks. Only time will tell how well it will work out though. The map is going to be divided into thousands of levels that are unlocked in sequence, and fun events will be featured such as endless dungeons, where the goal is to go as deep as you can, and in the endless dungeons events, exits are only available every 5 levels. As far as gameplay goes, the first 10 minutes or so of this game are a bit of a drag, but hey, we all have to start somewhere, right? So you're going to inevitably lose battles at first as you try to earn some armor. Don't let it discourage you though. This game had me fully invested for well over an hour as I played and filmed this for you. As I advanced my armor and weapons, my ability and skill followed, allowing me to take on higher level enemies and head for the treasure. Be sure to pick your battles wisely at first and stay on the lowest levels that you can find until you build up your inventory and strength. Don't worry about adventuring too far, and feel free to play the same tiles again and again until you're ready. You can choose your target in a battle by clicking on them. I like to spread the love around, give everybody a little love tap. Within a short time, you should be equipped enough to advance to levels well beyond the starting difficulty of 40. As your inventory fills up, be sure to head over to the blacksmith. There you can upgrade your favorite items to higher levels, and you can also craft new items using the surplus and useless items you have taking up space in your inventory. This works as both a selling and crafting system, which overall seems to work okay so far. The more valuable items, they appear to move the crafting progress bar more, so it seems like it's being pretty fair. And this is unfortunately a time-consuming process, which it's slightly buggy when selecting items and all this. Like, you'll see when you play it inevitably, but it isn't alpha, so you can't complain too much about that. Once you're able to move around a little bit more freely because you have a little bit more strength to your character, choose your next battle in the direction of where you wish to go. In my case here, I'm trying to snag those treasure chests. The battles on the way to the chest, they weren't too bad in this case, and I made off with a bunch of loot. When you see a plus sign at the bottom over your character, that allows you to level up. Do so and you'll get the opportunity to unlock power-ups by spending skill points. The first few level ups will be free, then after that you'll have to spend in-game gold you earned to advance further. The first power-up you get as an archer is Fire Arrow. This will increase your damage output and allow you to smash through the levels much quicker. And they also do indirect damage to the enemy, such as like burn damage after you're targeting another enemy. Be sure to enable them when necessary and disable them at will. They will use mana, but they do help a whole lot. I decided to try and grab this other chest, and I was on a roll, paying very little attention to the difficulty of the tiles, and I got myself into a very, very tough battle, one that had my health drained in just seconds. When I respawned, I found the level to be above 150, which I was completely unprepared for. Several attempts at getting the chest proved futile as my strength was way too low. Although I did have a pretty serious damage dealing weapon and pretty decent armor, albeit not a full set. Had I had a full set of armor, probably would have made quite a difference. Overall though, I find this game pretty entertaining and surprisingly well done for the lack of gameplay that there really is and the early alpha status of the game. It was much less boring than some of the more action-packed titles that I've featured on the series, and it actually kept me engaged and wanting more, believe it or not. As the adventure progresses, you will encounter varying enemies and waves of a mixture of them all. You will even encounter tougher enemies that I would class as mini-bosses. And overall, you will enjoy the time you spend experimenting with this new developer. It really does make you want to keep playing and see what else is going to come next. But before we take too much time in this video, I want to show you GolemHouse's flagship game in part 2. This is Treasure Tiles. To get started for free, head over to golemhouse.itch.io/treasure-tile. You will need to download the game to play it. This game is similar to Diablo and other hack and slash adventure RPG games with a top-down view, but Treasure Tiles is a little bit different. Currently in experimental alpha, this game is a real-time tile-based adventure RPG. Instead of playing a 3D avatar, for some strange reason your player is a tile, as are all of the enemies. The core gameplay loop here is slay monsters, gain XP, collect loot, slay more monsters, and that's basically it. And due to its early alpha status, there's really no endgame. After choosing your class, you start in the forest and you have to fight your way through the first wave of enemies to make your way to town. Once in town, you have your standard RPG townsfolk, all with the strange and seemingly pointless but unique tile personas, and you can interact with several of them. Buy and sell items, weapon and armor, pick up missions, and store your haul in the storage chest. The first mission sees you on a short adventure to the ancient woods in search of wolf fangs. If you defeat 7 wolves and any other invading enemies, and you take their fangs and you make your way back to town, you're going to get a reward and be able to unlock more quests. Once you return to the quest giver, of course, and you accept the second quest, then this will see you heading to the swamp to kill the swamp monster. The swamp has no fast travel spots, so it will be a little bit harder to find. And once you're in the ancient woods, you have to head west across the whole map basically to access the swamp. It's not as easy to find as one would hope. And there's a whole lot of monsters in there that are going to be fighting you tooth and nail the whole way. As you progress, you can upgrade your attacks using the right mouse button or the number keys, so you can have a whole bunch of attacks on tap. For their flagship game, it's a unique and interesting concept, but to me it is very strange. The battles are clunky at best, movement is strange and very rigid, attacking is also very strange as many shots miss the enemies due to the angles. Maybe that's purposely designed that way, I'm not really sure. And it is incredibly easy to get swamped by enemies and cornered, which will cause certain death very quickly. I feel the inventory is pretty easy to use, but could do with a few labels so you kind of know where you have to put your stuff, gloves, weapons, so on and so forth. Otherwise, it's all pretty straightforward. I really do have a hard time getting behind the strange graphical avatar choices in the game, but I'm interested to see how it plays out. I certainly suggest checking out both of the games we discussed in this video, as they are decent examples of an indie developer trying to do something different and unique. And they're actually working behind their game. We'll see in next quarter of this year if they're actually going to pull through with what they're saying. I can't see these games getting worse, so it's all up from here. Just like the whole crypto market though lately, right? If you play these games and enjoy them or have comments, let us all know. If not, tell us what you are playing. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you like this video, and make sure you hit the like button if you found it informative or you learned something. If you want to stay in the loop over the summer and see what I'm up to constantly, be sure to check out my other channel, youtube.com/chaosbikesgarage, as I am posting several videos a week there of outdoor content, two-stroke enduro action, and general mountain pirate shenanigans. If you want to support the channel, we got some new merch. Scope the merch in the merch store at store.streamelements.com/Wobble Wednesday. And check me out on TikTok at Chaos Bikes and at Chaos Dubs. I'll be uploading content shorts as soon as I have some time. It's really busy season for me. I'm trying to get as much footage as I can. The next crypto games video is likely going to be 2 weeks from now, as I'm still in the middle of, obviously, bike season. But if I can get one to you next week, I will, if the weather's inclement or if I get a good stockpile of footage in the next few days here. For now, take care of yourselves. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Chaos Dubs out.